What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, I want to kick it off by giving a happy birthday shout out to one of our very own, the Fandom Menace's finest, Damajanai. He's also the sexiest man on YouTube, I've heard. So I want to give that big old shout out to Damajanai, my man. Rock on, many, many more. All right, so guys, listen, I want to say off top also, I want to thank everybody who likes, who shares, who subscribes. And when they do subscribe, they hit the notification bell with the all button. That is very important. What else? I am on Twitter. That link is always in the description box, as well as a PayPal if you want to help me grow the channel. I appreciate it very much. All right, guys, so let's spin off into this. And I want to give my thoughts and views on the latest episode of The Mandalorian, Season 1, Episode 4. This would be called Sanctuary, I think. And guys, you know, The Mandalorian is consistent. It continues to be very well produced, very well done. Let me see, what can I say about this one? This one is, you know, for two reasons I've been looking forward to this one. I'm glad we got this one. I've been looking forward to it. And one of the reasons why, as you guys know, is I've been waiting to find out how these two women who we saw in the trailer are going to figure into The Mandalorian. Are they going to be like, you know, good for the story, just characters, well-drawn characters, or are they going to be kind of like, SJW implants, so that first reason, the women, let's take that first. All right, let me see, we had Gina Carano, I believe, MMA star, right? I believe we had her as Cara Dune, and I thought that she was well done. She looked her part, she looked appropriate, she didn't do anything that was out of the ordinary. I think that her character is more aggressive than the character of the Mandalorian, which is why there are certain scenes where it seems like she jumps into action before he does. Like when they first meet, they do this rough and tumble thing that, I could take that part or leave it, because I kind of feel like the Mandalorian has got this ton of armor on, and it's expensive armor, so it's got to be high quality, right? But they're trading punches, and she's punching him in the helmet, you know what I mean? It's like she's punching him in the body, like every part of him is armored. And if he's being bested at all, by somebody bare-fisted punching into his armor, then Mando, I'd say that you got gypped. You didn't get top quality, my friend. It might look shiny, but then again, so does aluminum foil. Maybe that's what it's made out of. So, I kind of had a problem with that. There's no way that she could have been able to, best him with his armor on. Now, clearly she's a big woman, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't doubt that she can hold her own. My only problem is with the armor, what does he have the armor for if it doesn't give him the advantage in situations like that? So, other than that, I felt like her personality was pretty cool. She played off of him very well. I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing her again, and I don't mind that, and this flies in the face of everybody who said once we got a woman in The Mandalorian that the fanboys were going to just abandon the Mandalorian, and, we would be all... we would be all threatened and all that stuff. Well, you're wrong, bitches. All right, so her character was cool. All right, so this brings me to the second thing that I was looking forward to, seeing in this series, and I'm glad we got it in this episode. And that would be the scenario where the Mandalorian goes to a helpless village where the people need to be trained how to fight because they're being run over by whatever bully tribe there is out there. I mean, you name it. We've seen it all before, you know what I mean? So they're all huddled and they're all scared, and when they see the Mandalorian, it's like, help us, you're a fighter, you can help us, you know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, I knew this episode was coming even before I knew the episode was coming, because, let's face it, this is what they do, it reminded me of like an old episode of Star Trek, The Next Generation or something like that, when Data goes down to a planet, probably befriends a little girl or something like that, and there's some woman in the village who gets turned on by Data, not realizing, or maybe because he's a machine, so it's kind of like that. And they did have the answer to that in this episode, where they had another woman who was clearly in heat at the sight of the Mandalorian. I mean, from the minute she looked at him, I mean, my God, we should all have somebody who look at us like that, Mike, you know what I'm saying? So she's looking at him, and I guess from the minute she sees him, she's trying to figure out a way to get him out of that helmet. You know, she's trying to remove the helmet, and he's like, I cannot remove the helmet. If I remove the helmet, then I'll never be able to put it back on again. And, you know, so, you know, they're not able to do that, you know, but, you know, it was cool, you know, and the creature, Baby Yoda, I guess after a while, Mando starts thinking this is a good place to leave the creature. I don't understand that either. It's like if he knows that this creature is like sought after all throughout the galaxy, then you hear that? That's plumbing. Okay, so anyway, like I was saying, so he knows that the creature is sought after all throughout the galaxy. How could you think you could, I mean, you just got through like fighting all of these people, disintegrating people to liberate this creature, the Baby Yoda. And just to leave or even think about leaving it here, like you must know that these people, because of the way that you left them, they're not going to stop looking for him or it at all. So that was just bad instincts right there. As a matter of fact, the Mandalorian seemed very reckless in this episode, you know, in general. You know, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It kind of humanizes the Mandalorian. Also, there is a very strong implication that the Mandalorian is not, in fact, a Mandalorian. He was just taken in by the Mandalorians, and has chosen or vowed to live a life according to the Mandalorian way, because this is the way, and that's the way for him or her or whatever it is underneath the helmet. Although, as of this episode, I am kind of thinking that the Mandalorian is a man. So let me see, moving on, like I said, the Baby Yoda, you know, the little kids are asking to play with the Baby Yoda creature, and the Mandalorian says, why not? Not even realizing, like I said, exactly what the creature is. It's like, how does he know it's even safe for these kids? But anyway, so as it goes on, the Mandalorian and Kara, they decide they're going to help this village to rid them of the you know, the tribe of raiders who have been coming in and taking their shit, you know what I mean? And the tribe of raiders also have one of those ATST walker things. I'm not even sure, like, what is powering the walker. They never show anybody inside of it, so it kind of just looks like some monster, you know, coming through. Like, has it, like, achieved some type of artificial intelligence? I don't know, but there it is, you know, so... they're able to fight this thing, and you know, it goes as you would imagine. They teach the villagers how to fight. You know, the freak that's in heat there, she knows how to shoot. So you know, like I said, it works out and everything. And like I said, it was a pretty basic episode. You know what I mean? It's like it's nothing that you haven't seen before, but still, I don't down it because it was solid. Like I said, this is an episode that had to happen. And I'm glad it happened, so we can get that out of the way, you know what I mean? Now we can move on to other things. As a matter of fact, I thought this episode would have happened in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Like, I thought the whole Obi-Wan Kenobi series was just going to be that, like him going from village to village helping people. But seeing this, hopefully they put their imaginations in overdrive and come up with different scenarios that the Mandalorian and ultimately Obi-Wan Kenobi can get into in their respective series. Now, it's time to play What Would I Do If I Were the Mandalorian. Now, watching this show, I'm that type of person who wonders, now, if I were the Mandalorian, how would I handle this? Okay. Now, the first thing I think I would do is you have two men, okay? It wasn't two women. You had two men come to you from this village asking you for help. Now, from the looks of it, they look like able-bodied men. I don't know, I gotta watch it again. I only watched it once, but I'm thinking if I'm the Mandalorian, you're two grown-ass men coming to me, a grown-ass man, asking me to defend you. Two grown-ass men, two of you are coming to one of me. Now, what would I do at this point? I would be like, hey, look, you spineless jellyfish, you girly man, you panty waist. Here's how it's gonna go. Today begins a new order. You will kneel before me, and you will pay me protection money. You will bring me your women. You will pledge to me your firstborn. And this is what's going to happen. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with that freak over there who's been trying to remove my helmet for the last 30 minutes. We're going to start with her. And I can tell you, I'm not going to remove my helmet, but you can remove these slacks. I can tell you that. All right, we can work something out. So yeah, we're going to work on that. Okay, so that's what it would be. I would be the overlord of this village at this point. All right, and I would be like, you see little man over there, the little Baby Yoda creature? people are going to be coming for him or it. And if anything happens to him, I will take each of you one by one. So it behooves you to protect my little friend over there. Okay? So I would have it set up pretty nice. You know, so, that would be it, I guess. You know, that's not a good thing. It's like, I guess the series would end right there because I would live happily ever after at that point. And, yeah, that they would be enslaved by me. So that's what would happen if I were the Mandalorian. So anyway, like I said, this episode, it was very good. Apparently it was directed by Ron Howard's daughter, right? What's her name? Bryce? Is it Bryce Dallas Howard? Is that what it is? Ron Howard, Richie Cunningham, Opie. You are a weird looking man. I don't know how you had a daughter that looks so fine, but since she's the one who directed the episode, I'm going to say I love this episode. Let me stop. No, you know, hats off to her. You know, this is 2 women directors in the last 2 episodes for what it's worth. I mean, this episode was not as good as the last episode. I mean, I don't get the feeling that it was as well directed, but it was capable. You know what I mean? And it didn't offend me. I felt like the woman character issue that I had, you know, for the last 2 videos and everything, I got no problem. It's like I really do feel like the character of Kara was a good, strong character. You know, I liked the way that she portrayed her. I liked the way she came across. Like I said before, she seemed very capable, very personable, very charismatic. So there was no problem there. And as well as, you know, the woman in the village, I don't even know what her name is, but the one who was, you know, sexually harassing the Mandalorian for the better part of the episode, she was okay. You know, obviously she was lonely. You know, I don't put that past her. I think that was a pretty accurate portrayal of a woman who has needs. You know, so yeah, so the episode, I liked it, guys. What do you think? You know, tell me what you made of the episode, and you can do that in the comment section. And as always, guys, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, and come check me out on Twitter. I would love to see ya. All right, guys, that's it for now. I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel, according to Mark with a C. Rock on.